Okay, I think I switched to the right tab. Let's go. Sorry about that. My OBS rig fully broke. Hello, everyone. Okay, I was trying to like fix the background noise on my OBS because I was trying to get the audio clip to work. It did not. I really wish it would, but I was trying to fix the audio before the stream, and I spent like 40 minutes just combing through this thing, and it would like not work at all. So maybe next stream. But yeah, so welcome to the stream. I haven't streamed in so long now that I think about it, because like I want to say the last time I streamed was like early 2022, and then I just fully did long form content ever since. So we are just going to hop into this. So, oh no. Yeah, I was like panicking there because I was spending like 8 minutes on my start stream, which was actually that was the screen that was supposed to have the background music at first. But yeah, we're gonna pretend that I am immune to scuff today, which I am very much not. And we're going to rank some Mortal Kombat characters. Also, I did see the new trailer, and I'm saving my thoughts for a video because honestly, it's really good writing, and I really liked the plot they set up. But I'm simply going to pretend I haven't seen it yet. I wonder who got revealed, just so I can talk about it in a video for like 12 minutes. Alright, let me see if I can switch this here. I put it on my start screen. Oh my god, I am. The scuff's hitting today. Alright, here we go. Alright, this is gonna be good. So here we have our tier maker tier list, and I'm literally going to go through like all 70 something characters. I'm not counting NPCs because I don't like doing that. I'd rather only count characters that I deem necessary to the franchise. Characters who have been playable, not counting guest characters either because it's only ever been repeated once. So I'd rather just have characters that are actually playable that I rank. And I usually do not critique off of gameplay at all, so we we will pretend their kits don't exist because I'm qualified to critique creative writing, not fighting game balancing. So we have like 70 some characters to get through, so let's speed through these six tiers. So we have Icon Legend, She is the Moment. So this is the tier where the best of the best go. I'm probably going to move a lot of characters around in this list, and that's the one I'm kind of reserving for later. And then we have She's Really Good. This is where like a lot of my favorites are gonna go, and then like Icon Legend She is the Moment is like the reserved VIP section. And then we have Vine Boom. This is the last like good tier. It's like if I see them I'm like, "Oh, cool. That's a person on the roster. Nice." And then we have Shurjan. Shurjan is the tier of like, "Oh, that's a character." Like if I see him on the roster, I'm not particularly enthused. We under that, we have My Heebies Are GB'd, which is just my little way of like hating some characters, but not enough to like never want them to exist again. And then we have the Nether Realm, which that's the worst. All right, so here we go. I whoever did this tier list, thank you so much for compiling all of these little icons of so many different characters. But oh my god, please be consistent with your icons you use. Like ciphering through these was so difficult. All right, so I don't think any of these have MK1 logos. So if you only recognize characters based off of like little individual parts of them from older games, that would be why. All right, so Smoke is the first one. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was noob at first. Okay, so Smoke. Oh my god, this we're already starting off difficult today, aren't we? Smoke is definitely gonna be a more difficult one because Smoke got such a massive glow up in MK1. But man, earlier before that, I did not like Smoke. One of my friends sent me a meme of Smoke's face from MK9. I would pull it up, but OBS stuff is like ruining me today. Um, it was something. And like thinking back on Smoke, I don't like him as a character. He was kind of just boring in a lot of the design. But I like him in MK1, but we haven't seen enough of him. So I'm gonna put him in Shurjan, like the epitome of like a mid character, in my opinion. Shao Kahn. I'm not gonna elaborate on my reasons. I refuse to do so. That is just me. Moving on. So this next one is actually Kintaro. And I had to like stare at this image for quite a while because I could not decipher who this was for a sec because I forgot Kintaro was in Shang Tsung's Fatality from MK11. Um, okay, Kintaro can go in like any of these three, but I'll put him in Vine Boom because we just haven't seen enough of him. But what we have seen of him is like good. Like his designs have been pretty consistent. His MK9 and 11 appearances were welcome. His MK11 glow up in particular made me want him as a DLC like really bad because I was like, wow, this is a character that really interests me. Excuse dog noises. And then we have like I could also put him in Shurjan because he is kind of mid and no one's really pining for him. But we'll sit with Vine Boom. That seems correct. Hang on. Is my mic breaking? Hold up. Okay, so sorry. I swapped my pop filter on my mic because I was having some feedback on my end. So now we're gonna go back to this nonsense. Chat, do we sound okay? Can we get a pog in chat? Okay, I think we're sounding better, at least to my knowledge. I'm not hearing any feedback on my end, which is good. All right, let's continue critiquing a bunch of characters. Who is this? Hang on. Is this supposed to be? I wear glasses for a reason. Okay, that's Scorpion. Okay, so Scorpion, she's really good. I know a lot of people really like Scorpion. I am not one of those people just because I think his writing has fluctuated so much as a character. It's just kind of hard because he has so many different iterations over the years, and the drama with Sub Zero is really messy. And speaking of Sub Zero, also gonna go in. She's really good, but I like them both as designs and character concepts, especially lasting as long as they have in this franchise. I'm very much down with their longevity. Like it's very good. So Raiden, I want to put him in NetherRealm just because I do not like him. I'll put him in my Heebies or GB because, like, Raiden's writing, if you gave me only his MK9 writing, maybe his MKX writing as well, I would say he's probably Vine Boom to She's really good. MK11 ruined his character to like a degree to where it could not be saved. I'm just saying. Like like Raiden is fully ruined, but he's not like Netherrealm tier because I don't think anyone could actually get there. There's I mean people can. We'll get there when we do. But there's a lot of characters when I'm like where I'm like the writing was tarnished by modern games. Raiden is one of them. Scarlet. She's not Icon Legend, she is the moment yet, but she's really good. Like, I like Scarlet. Anytime she arrives on the roster, I'm happy all two times that she has. And she was given dust in the story, so I kind actually, yeah, I'm gonna put her in Vine Boom because she was really given dust in the story. Like, I love Scarlet as a design, she just has no character writing. Like, they're like I'm seeing some Scarlet love in the chat right now, and like I love Scarlet too. It's just like I can't get behind her writing because there isn't any to get behind. Kitana, Icon Legend, she is the moment. I mean, what else can I say after MK11 and the writing for MK1? I mean, like her writing has been truly something, and especially seeing it develop over time. She kind of went to like she was an originally like underdeveloped character in like the earlier MK games because they didn't feature her that much. But once we got to the later iterations of the franchise, Kitana was becoming this like force of a character, and her writing was impeccable. In MK11 when she became Khan, I was like, wow, this is really good writing. I love it so much. So yeah, Icon Legend, she is the moment. Jade. Okay. Jade is my favorite character in Mortal Kombat, but with her writing, um, if MK11 didn't exist, her writing would put her in Vine Boom. But I think her writing is justifiable enough to put her in She's Really Good. Because, like, personally, Jade's writing was okay. Like, it was nothing crazy. I liked her ending in MK11 a lot. I like her camaraderie with Katana. That's really good to see. Her relationship with Kotal didn't feel forced, and it was definitely the better on-screen relationship of the franchise in MK11. We'll talk about Liu Kang, Shao Kahn, and Sindel later. And I don't know, I don't have many critiques of Jade. She just doesn't have a lot to work with, so she's really good, you know? Su Hao, Netherrealm. I don't need to elaborate, do I? I mean, Su Hao is just like kind of a throwaway character to be honest, and even Ed Boon hates him, so I mean, what do you even say? Just move on, honestly. Alright. Is this Shang Tsung? Hang on. I'm still blind. This is Shang Tsung. Okay. Shang Tsung is going in She's Really Good. Funnily enough, my favorite writing of Shang Tsung ever has to be MK versus DC of all games. Because, like, there's something so amazing about Shang Tsung being the one to save that franchise for me. Like, that was amazing. Otherwise, I mean, I can understand a lot of Shang Tsung's motives. I don't always agree with them, specifically in MK9, where he's not really acting for himself. He's more so acting for other people, but pretending it's for himself, which is really interesting character writing, and I enjoy it. Um, I'm just interested to see what happens with MK1, and I think the only thing stopping him from Icon Legend, She Is the Moment, is that, like, Shang Tsung should not have been the final character you fight as or against in Aftermath. It should have been Shao Kahn, and I'm really annoyed it wasn't. So she's really good, you know? Alright, so then we have, this is Havoc. Okay, I'm still blind, you guys. I wear glasses too, that's the sad part. I wear glasses and yet I am still blind. Havoc. If we pretended MK1 didn't happen, then Havoc would be going in Shurjan, but because Havoc happened, she's really good. Like, the new version of Havoc gave me so much life, because Havoc is a character who's been absent from this franchise for about 20 years now, and, like, Havoc has made the Comeback of the Year award, maybe aside from Reptile. Like, this is wild to me. because Havoc got fully reworked recently. Like, I know I'm not factoring gameplay into this, but like the mechanic of Havoc like detaching his body and like using it as a weapon, that's so cool. But aside from that, like his character design much better. His lore with Astra in MK1 is very promising. Actually, I don't know. I don't think I can put him in She's really good because we haven't seen enough. So I'll put him in Vine Boom because there's not enough content for Havoc to work with yet, but what we have is good. So then we get Liu Kang. Originally, if you asked me like 3 years ago, if you asked me 3 years ago, I would have said Liu Kang is my heebies or jeebied, but now she's really good. Like, wow, honestly. Like, that's just me being honest, though. I'm currently, like, reading the chat right now. Daddy or Passy, Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Okay, I mean, I refused to elaborate on Shao Kahn. What makes you think I'm going to elaborate on Disney characters? Oh my god. First stream back and we're already down horrific. But on the topic of Liu Kang, though, I see Liu Kang's writing was so rocky. Like, I saw a Scooch short recently that basically sums up the fact of like Liu Kang's writing looks so weird to anyone who is not a Mortal Kombat fan. Like, this man has died and been resurrected like 3 times now, and he has been rewritten like 4 times now. Like, the writing of Liu Kang is truly something, but I think in every iteration he was done justice in his anime protagonist's like worldview and writing. And now he is just ascended to be Goku status, so I'm kind of into it. I can't say Icon Legend She is the moment though, because there are some moments specifically in MK versus DC and MK9 that I do not like with Liu Kang. Tremor's going in Shurjan because I don't think Tremor is necessarily a character we have enough writing for. His design's promising. His cameo appearance in the DLC also promising. I just don't think we have like any story material to work with Tremor like at all. So he kind of has to go in Shurjan because there's nothing to critique. Quan Chi. I could put Quan Chi in like any of these tiers and be happy with saying that. Um, Him getting his balls crushed by Sonya definitely like sealed the deal for Icon Legend She is the moment because like Quan Chi and MKX was so annoying to watch because they butchered his character. But I don't know. I'll put him in Vine Boon because his recent trilogy appearance, like his powers fluctuated so much and it was really annoying. Like if I was in that writer's room, I would be questioning a lot of Quan Chi's decisions specifically. And in earlier iterations, like we saw like Deadly Alliance, we saw Quan Chi really at full power. We saw him doing a lot in Armageddon. Like there are a lot of instances where Quan Chi is good. It's just very inconsistent. Like that's just me though. I'm about to say Tremor is irrelevant unless he's in MK1. Yeah, literally. I mean, yeah, Tremor is just a character who has no content at all. Jarek, Netherrealm. And while we're at it, Kai, Netherrealm. Oh, Kai, Netherrealm. Because these two were literally just rip-off versions of, like, other characters, like, haphazardly molded into new characters that just didn't quite work. And it's very evident, specifically in their kits, like, before we had Cobra and Kira, we had Jarek and Kai being absolute clowns. There's not good writing for them. Like, no one's pining for them to come back. Takeda, I like Takeda, not enough to say she's really good. But Vine Boom, yes. Because Takeda was only really given spotlight in one game. And I think because of that, like, it's just hard to justify putting Takeda and she's really good because there's not a ton of like content for Takeda outside of like MK1 where we don't know much other than the fact that like it's clearly a little more immersed in Shirai Ryu. Um Other than that, yeah, I mean there's not a lot to really critique because I feel like his story with Jackie was really well done. Feel like his upbringing with Kenshi was really well done. Certainly better than some of the other combat kids. So, yeah, Vine Boom. Ermac. This I'm gonna say something controversial yet brave. Sure, Jan. Ermac is an interesting design, but he is so busy being everyone else's lackey. Like, he has existed since what, MK3, and we have like yet to see him do something interesting for himself. Like, MK1 DLC, he's not really gonna have any lore unless they pull some like aftermath shenanigans. And honestly, like, I can't recall any time he did something that wasn't for other people. Like Shang Tsung, when he does things for other people, it makes sense. And there's a lot of power factors to that. Ermac just does it because he can and he has allies. Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing interesting to him other than his design and his abilities. So, Movado. I've heard rumors of a Movado DLC. And if he's cameo, sure, but right now my heebies are GB'd because he was just like boring, uninterested male antagonist number 30. Like, I don't know. He's too cookie cutter for me. And his lore, like, I'm not interested. I'm not pining for the comeback. Even though like I think a redesign could be really cool. I don't think anyone's wanting Movado back. All right. So, wait, who is this? Me being blind part 4. This is Serena. Okay. Serena in MK1 gave me life, and her in MKX as well. I'm gonna give her Vine Boom because again, we don't have enough content for her. But I like her. Like she's like I don't know because there's not a lot of writing, but I totally understand it. Like I understand the Serena hype because there's a lot of unpacked potential there that like needs to be I don't know, like shown to the world, you know? Like I want to see it happen, basically. So Meat Netherrealm. I mean, like Meat is such a nothing character. You guys want to know something funny? I actually, when I was watching the new MK1 trailer like 3 hours ago, I was like losing my mind. Um, I fully missed Serena's cameo, and I fully thought like the devil version of Serena. I fully thought the devil version of Serena was Meat. Like I can't make this shit up. Like I fully thought that was Meat cuz literally like her demon form is straight up like a meat suit. Like it I mm, I'm like I was so ashamed and I was scrolling through the comments and I was like, "Oh my god, Serena's in this trailer? Where?" And I had to rewatch it and I looked like such a dumbass afterwards. This is why reactors watch the trailer twice. It's not just for runtime, it's so they don't do what I do. All right. Sector. Okay. This is where I'm like again, I'm between like these three. Like she's really good, Vine Boom or Shurjan. Um Here's the thing. I know that Sector and Cyrax are disposable enough characters and NRS has shown that. So I personally would put Sector in Vine Boom because I like the lore he's gotten where it's kind of like someone who's more loyal to the Cyber Linkway initiative being like having a wedge driven in a friendship with Cyrax over like the shenanigans of MK9. That's an interesting story. They just like don't expand on that and then like the other appearances made by the cyborgs in the story are really half-assed. But like the appearances that they made prior to like MKX really worked and I was happy with them. So I mean I will put Cyrax in Vine Boom as well while we're here because again like they're cool designs and their lore was fine. It's just they didn't do it justice in my opinion. Aaron Black. I used to really like Aaron Black. In MK11, he was given nothing, and I have to put him in Shurjan because it's the same thing with Ermac. Like, Aaron does nothing for his own motivations, and it annoys me. Because, like, Aaron and Ermac were some of the coolest characters in MKX, along with MK11 as well, other than Ermac. Um, but, like, they were given dust in the story and maybe fought once or twice and then were just like never used again. Like that always annoys me when it's like you have a cool ass character design and then you do nothing with it. So I literally just can't put Aaron any higher. Triborg, Netherrealm, never do this again. This was a bad idea. Variations were a mistake in MKX. Glad we fixed it for 11. Now they're going away permanently, so we will never see Triborg again. And if we do, I'm banging my head in a wall. Hotaru. Um, I'm. Uh, okay. Here's the thing. I could put him in my Heebies or GB'd, or I could say Shurjan. And I'm. Okay. I'm gonna put Hotaru in Shurjan because, like, I like Hotaru as a concept because the Order and Chaos Realm thing was an actually good story that was just paid dust because Midway was, like, falling apart. And, like, okay. Hotaru had potential, but it was just wasted. And unlike Movado, where it like felt really generic, I actually really liked Hotaru's story. And it's not like Raiden, where like Hotaru lost goodwill as the franchise went on because Hotaru like didn't have time, like straight up. I really want a Hotaru comeback just because I want to see what they do with Hotaru in the lore and make him a better character. Okay, is this Onaga? This is Onaga. Onaga. Vine Boom only because like I love Onaga personally. I just can never get behind Onaga's lore that much because just felt like cheap Shao Kahn to me. Like make him a threat. Like if he's the main villain of like if he were the main villain of MK1, I would be so happy. Like using Shang Tsung felt really weird, especially because Liu Kang like would have wanted to neutralize him, no? Like they had a whole fight in Aftermath and then it went like nowhere and then we had no consequences for it. Like, huh? I don't know. Like having Onaga come back and actually mean something in the lore would be good, and I think people want Onaga to come back. I'm just personally nervous they're not going to do shit with him. Goro. Goro has never really been a good written character, but he's a Shokan, so people like him, question mark? I don't know. Sure, Jan. Because where Kintaro has had consistently good redesigns, I don't think Goro has really expanded much as a character. And the lore for Goro has literally always just been he's the champ of Mortal Kombat and people gotta beat him. Except like that hasn't been relevant for like multiple decades now. Like it's so bad to me. I'm like, I'm over it. Like I know people like Goro. I do not. I am not a Goro fan. Sindel. Okay. If Aftermath didn't happen, I feel like everyone would agree with me on this, but I'm putting her in She's really good because I like the plot of Sindel being actually manipulative. Like, that's kind of cool of having a facade that goes on forever. I think there was just a lot of retconning to her story that wasn't really explained in the trilogy properly. But if it actually was explained, she would be icon legend. She is the moment. There's just some plot holes there that I did not like. But honestly, like her or Xiao should have been the final boss that you fight as Liu Kang in Aftermath. Like I was so annoyed that it was Shang Tsung. Moving on. Kenshi. Kenshi, if MKX and MK11 didn't happen, Kenshi would be very much a nothing character, but I have to put Kenshi and she's really good. Because Kenshi really did the impossible of actually coming back not being a first gen MK character and coming back and knocking it out of the park when it came to lore writing. Because I hated that in MK11 they just killed him off. I was like, that's so fucking stupid. Like you have one of the coolest characters who's training another really cool character that everybody really liked, which is Takeda, and then they kind of just threw him away for MK11. Like I really liked him in X, to be honest. Like it was so good to me, and then they just kind of threw away Kenshi. Like it sucked. Melina. Icon legend, she is the moment because oh my god, hello plot development. Like I originally was not a Melina fan back in MK9. I think the only reason I really liked her in MK9 was because I did not know Tarkatans could also be somewhat normal people. So in MK9 when I saw Melina, I thought she was just pink katana in my little 6-year-old brain, and then I saw what Melina actually was and I was like, "Whoa." But like in MKX and MK kind of MK11, we'll talk about that in a sec. MKX, she was written so unbelievably well, and her death is the most iconic in the series. Like no one can tell me otherwise. hello LGBTQ community. Like, she ate, literally. She got eaten alive by maggots, and that was the death. Like, name another. Like, straight up, I don't think anyone else went out in such a fashion that was remembered like Melina was. Like, she really was that girl. And, like, in not 11, 1, she seems like she's going to be one of the best written characters, if not the best written character. Like, I'm so excited. Reptile. Okay. I want to put Reptile in Icon Legend She is the Moment after the Banish trailer today, but I'm going to put him in She's Really Good because here's the thing. Reptile falls in the same category as Ermac and Aaron, where Reptile has only ever been a lackey for other people. But not only is Reptile's design really good, Reptile's new lore, like, holy shit. Like, bringing back his old designs, incorporating them into, like, a Killer Croc-esque, like, design, and, like, the sewer thing, and, like, how he was outcast, like, that is cool. Thank you, MK. Like, I was so happy when Reptile got revealed and, like, was revealed in such an amazing fashion. That was incredible. Lee May. Okay, I am putting Lee May in She's Really Good. Again, same reason as, like, Hotaru, where, like, Lee May was really, really cool and just was not given the time of day. Now she's being given the time of day in the writing, and the Umgadi is, like, such a cool concept, and I love it so much. Like, Lee May is not flopping this time around. Like, it would be really hard to screw up Lee May's character. So she's going and She's Really Good. Kung Lao, sure, Jan. Like, it's not my heebies or jeebied because I think the thing that does save Kung Lao is that Kung Lao played second fiddle to a lot of Liu Kang's shenanigans and Raiden shenanigans as well, which were arguably a lot worse and maybe not like Kung Lao that much. Like, Kung Lao as a character is pretty cool, but he's cool because his ancestor was cool. Kung Lao is the Nepo baby of Mortal Kombat, is what I'm saying. So yeah, sure, Jan, like, I guess. And also his MK1 design is, like, not giving. Same with Raiden's. I'm not a huge fan. Who is this? Hang on. I am trying to remember who this is, and I don't think I do. So we are going to put them with the other NPCs down at the bottom. Okay, moving on. Striker. My heebies are GB'd. They are, in fact, GB'd. Like, okay, Striker is, like, some guy. Like, that sounds so mean, but Striker is some guy. Like, the fact that he got brought back in MK9 genuinely baffled me, because I was like, he's the most boring of the original roster for MK1 through Trilogy. Like, I don't know, not the move, personally. And, like, even now, I don't really like Stryker that much. Just, like, not a fan, to be honest. Like, I don't know. Stryker's never been given the time of day, and his story kind of just revolved around Cabal, but Cabal was actually interesting, so, you know. Stryker was just not a good character, in my opinion. Like, Cameo is the best I would give him on the new roster, so, yeah. The original Kung Lao. Okay, so the thing with Kung Lao's lore is that Kung Lao is cooler because of, like, great Kung Lao in writing. Like, sure, Kung Lao didn't he beat Shao Kahn in MK9? Like, that's cool, but all of his lore revolves around someone who's not even in the game, which just makes me really annoyed with his writing. And it's always been that way. If it's not great Kung Lao, it's Liu Kang or it's Raiden. And I don't know. I want him to be more interesting, please. Okay. Rain. Wait, this is Rain, right? Okay, cool. I like Rain. I also acknowledge Rain fans are terrifying. And I also acknowledge that Rain fans were terrifying enough to put Rain into MK11 when he shouldn't have been there. And it is with these acknowledgments that I say she's really good. Because, okay, MK1 makes me really, really hyped for Rain, first of all. Like, amazing lore. I'm so hyped for, like, Rain to be involved with the Lin Kuei in some way. That's really cool. The other thing I'm really intrigued by is, like, Rain's, like, okay, Going back to MKX, which I might make a video on this because honestly, MKX was one of the best plots of Mortal Kombat, and nobody gave it the time of day because everybody didn't like that there was new characters. Like, Rain was so well written in that, and I was so mad we never got him in MKX because he would have been perfect. Like, he was written really well as a side character. Like, he was never the focus, but when he was, like, kind of the focus, he really he like showed up and showed out. I was always down with Rain, and even in like older iterations, him being like a Prince of Edenia, I actually really liked that because not a lot of Edenian characters were written well back in the day, so having one that was pretty cool. All right, Cobra, Netherrealm. Cobra and Kira are literally just clones of Kano and Sonya combined. Like, I don't know. They're not interesting to me. I don't need them. You don't need them. They would have to be like fully remastered to come back. Like, I highly doubt they ever will. And if they do, they're going to be overhauled quite a bit. Um Tanya. See, okay. Tanya wasn't written well until MKX, but when she got written well, oh, it was good. So I'm gonna put her in Vine Boom because I'm also really excited for her in I'm also really excited for her in MK1. You know what? I'm gonna put her in She's Really Good because her MK1 writing seems really cool, where she is very like arrogant and spiteful towards Lee May because she knows what Lee May did, and that is cool. Okay, like I'm so down with Tanya, like, in her new writing. I'm so excited for the new direction of this character. No, I mean, I think that's the character you didn't recognize. Got it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Grey Kung Lao would probably go and She's Really Good if I was actually ranking NPCs because, like, Grey Kung Lao was written better than actual Kung Lao ever was. Like, oh my god. Truly something. Reiko. Reiko was never written well. I'm nervous for him now in MK1. I'm gonna go with my Heebies or GB because Reiko was never written well as a character, in my opinion, and it was always really, really frustrating to watch because, like, I don't know, he had so much potential and was built up so well, and then they just did nothing with him, and it always made me mad, to be honest. Like, no. Kung Jin, Netherrealm. As a gay, we do not claim this LGBTQ representation. I am so sorry. Melina's representation we claim. Like, to be honest, I have never really liked Kung Jin. Like, his motives never made sense, and even when it was explained, it was fueled by, like, everything going on with his sexuality. I was like, this is not how you write his character. Like, I was like, hell no. Like, I could never get behind this character, and even when Takeda came around for MK1 this time around, like, I don't think anyone's gonna be asking for Kung Jin to come around. Like, I don't know. Never could get behind him, just like Kung Lao. Johnny Cage. Sure, Jan, because, like, Johnny Cage's writing flip-flops more than, like, Stan Twitter's opinion on Doja Cat right now. Like, I don't know. Johnny's writing is either he is the butt of every joke or he is the MacGuffin in other people's stories, like Cassie. Like, he's important and I like him being there and he's really fun. And the one game that I think would have suited him best is MK versus DC because it is high camp. But, like, they just, like, never made Johnny a real threat. And I think that was always a problem for me. And then when they tried to, with him being in the Special Forces, there was other people that did his job better. Bo Ride Show. My Heebies are GB'd. I'm not going to send him to Netherrealm because I actually liked what they did with him in MKX because I think that was a decent redemption of his character. I don't think he's ever actually going to come back anytime soon, only because, like, the reception name was kind of, like, mid, considering Rain and Sindel and Baraka did not get in MKX. So, I don't know. Bo Ride Show is just, like, a weird one for me. Like, I don't think he's ever going to come back. Baraka. I do love me some Baraka writing. Baraka, I have to put in Vine Boom because, like, in some games he's people's lackeys, in others he's doing things for himself, which puts him a step above characters like Ermac and Aaron Black. You know what? No, I'm gonna put him in She's Really Good because he's kind of like Reptile, where he used to be, like, kind of badly written despite being an amazing character. but now, like with MK1, he's kind of rising up and becoming something of his own character, which I really appreciate. So that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, Ferritor. Ferritor is gonna go in my Heebies or GB'd because Ferritor kind of just didn't really. They weren't giving what I wanted them to give in a 2-in-1 fighter. Like, the gameplay was cool, everything else was pretty mid. And for the first time doing like a dual fighter like this, you gotta bring it 100%, and it was maybe 50. Like, that's just me. Devora. Devora, I'm very tempted to just put an icon legend. She is the moment, but MK11 kind of took her down a bit. Like, I made a whole video on Devora, kind of talking about her, because I want her to come back in MK1. She's not going to, but like, I want her to. And I really like her as a character. She's one of the coolest concepts we've ever had. You love to hate her, which like is really, really amazing. Like, I love Devora as a character so much. She's amazing. I'll have to take I'll have to take off, but good seeing you, Zach. Enjoy the night. Oh, thank you. All right. So who else we got? Kodal. Okay. This is where this ranking gets hard. I could put Kodal in She's Really Good to Shurjan as well. I'm going to put him in She's Really Good because I think, unlike Onaga, when a new, like, kind of ruler character came about in MKX, they actually fleshed him out and made him a multi-dimensional character, which I appreciate because they took a while to do that for Shao, and they didn't really do it with Onaga. So I very much enjoy Kotal Khan. No, she had so much to the story. I agree. Devora added like a lot to the story. It's just like MK11, they gave her dust, so I can't put her in Icon Legend. She is the moment because she's not written well every time, you know. Cassie. Okay, Cassie is kind of Icon Legend. She is the moment. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I listen, I gotta make a video on MKX. Like, the more I'm doing this tier list, that's all I'm thinking about here. Um, like, to be honest, Cassie is one of the best modern examples of good Mortal Kombat writing because MKX, she became the hero and sort of passed down the generational, like, greatness of Johnny and Sonya, which we love to see. And she encompasses what Sonya and Johnny's good aspects are while taking out a lot of the bad ones. Like, she's silly, she's campy, like, she takes a selfie or whatever, but she's also like a kick-ass fighter, and it shows in the way she interacts with people. Like, MKX, she's immature, like, at some points. Do not get me wrong, she absolutely is. But like, when I watch her, I see like a not fully developed character. Like, she's still in her early stages, she doesn't know where to go, and by the end of MKX, she's blossoming into a full person we can relate to and come to know. MK11 kind of did that as well, and even though she wasn't taking center stage constantly, like, she was the perfect introductory chapter to sort of show like what happened with Sonya and like her training to become like higher levels in the special forces. I really like all of that, and I think Cassie's done really well. Jax. Jax is going in Shurjan. They've never really given Jax enough time a day, in my opinion, and when they did in MK11, they fucked it up. So, I don't know. I've never gone behind Jax. I really like his, like, playstyle and his outfits a lot of the time. Like, they're pretty cool. MKX is, like, one of the exceptions to that because I didn't really like his look in MKX that much. But I can't get behind Jax's writing all too much. Like, I'm not really a fan, outside of maybe MKX. Kano. Kano's difficult because I could put him in My Heebies Are GB'd, Shurjan, or Vine Boom, or She's Really Good. And I think I'm most justified in putting him in Shurjan because, like, he's perfectly mid as a character. He's never been the most exciting. He's never the standout in any way in any of the stories. And the only time he is when, like, the only time he ever really is when, like, Kano is being pinned down to get info out of him so they can go chase somebody else. Like when he gave Melina's whereabouts away, when, like, he was a lackey for Kronika and was kind of just dicking around half the time. Like, yeah, he's not the most competently written. Now, if MK movie Kano was in here, icon legend, she is the moment. Can we get that? Can we get that, please? Sonya, all goodwill of Sonya kind of fell off after MK11. I'm gonna go with my Heebies or GB because while I like Sonya in most games, MK9 on, I didn't like her as much. Actually, that's a lie. MKX and on, I didn't like her that much. Even though her kicking Quan Chi in the balls was like boss bitch as fuck. Do not get me wrong. Loved that scene. Everything else, I don't know. I'm iffy on it because like Cassie kind of became better than Sonya and overshadowed her to such a point that I don't really think a lot of people like her anymore. At least not as much as they used to. Like I know Sonya has her stance out there because I've been on Twitter, but I don't know. She's not my tea, is what I'm saying here. Nightwolf. I've never really liked Nightwolf's writing, to be honest. I'm gonna put him in my Heebies or GB'd. Because even though Nightwolf always looks, like, amazing, like, don't get me wrong, I always love Nightwolf's designs. It's just, they never give him time of day in the lore. And when they do, like, the one thing I can ever remember Nightwolf doing was in Mortal Kombat 9 when he killed himself and Sindel. Like, Nightwolf is boring. No, literally. Like, I get so fucking bored by Nightwolf. Like, the one thing he ever did that was interesting was when he died. Like, that's literally it, because in MKX, he was just a Revenant being a Revenant or whatever they do. And then in MK11, he was, like, paid dust in the story, and even if he was in Aftermath, I do not remember anything he did, to be honest. Who is this? Oh, this is Noob. Okay. Oh, I think Noob has 2 pictures in here. Yeah, Noob has 2 pictures for some reason, so we're just gonna, you know, down you go. Okay, Noob. Okay, I like Noob. Noob's writing in the trilogy was really good, so I'll put him in She's really good. Because I think Noob just wasn't given the time of day for a long time because Noob didn't have a ton of lore to go off of other than, ooh, it's Bihan. And then, like, in MK9, they actually fleshed out the rivalry between Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and then the Sub-Zero that later became Noob Saibot, and, like, how that whole thing worked. That was really cool. I really liked it. And Noob was actually given somewhat good story writing, and then MK11, he kind of got paid a little bit of dust, but, you know, I don't know. He's pretty cool. I like him. His glow up in MK11 was really cool. Cyber Sub-Zero, Netherrealm. Never do it again. Moving on. Fujin. I'm putting Fujin in She's really good. If Fujin comes back in MK1, I'm going to be honest, I will say Fujin will probably go in Icon Legend She is the moment. Because Fujin has had one of the best redemptions that I have ever seen in this franchise. Again, not only did he come into MK11 being like a 3D era character that not a ton of people cared about, but he also fucking crushed it. Like, amazing design, actually pretty good lore. Fujin's lore in MKX I also really liked. Like, every small moment he had, he stole the show. And that's what you want in a side character who's not the most important. Like, that's always so major. Okay, Garrus. If we were talking about Garrus before the MK1 trailer, Netherrealm. Now, She's really good. Because Garrus didn't really do anything for himself, but now he's a character who has to do things for himself, and that's a very interesting transformation, and I want that unpacked in the next game. I can't really say too much else because Garrus is a very new character. Cetrion. Cetrion's going in my Heebies or GB'd because they ruined the potential of that character. Like, Cetrion literally had one of the best, like, I'm saying best potentials for character design and for lore. And they ruined it by just making her a lackey to Kronika. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you have one of your most interesting characters and you just ruin her. Like, I was so mad when they did that. Collector. Netherrealm, because Collector was given absolutely nothing in the story, and I don't think anyone wants Collector to return, to be honest. Like, I don't think anyone's, like, pining for Collector right now. Shiva. Shiva's gonna go in my Heebies or GB'd as well, because Shiva's never really been necessary in the story. Like, every time she's been there, she's always doing something for someone else. But it's worse than Eren and Ermac, which are the two I always go back to, because Shiva is doing things rarely. like even less than Aaron and Ermac, and her designs have kind of fallen off in like out of favor with the MK fan base as of late. So I don't know. My Hades are DB'd. Frost, okay. Frost has to go in Vine Boom. If we were going off of design purely, Icon Legend, she is in the moment. But like MKX, I don't even know why the fuck she was there. And then MK11, she got really good story writing. It's just she needed more time. Like she needed to cook. All right, Cabal. Cabal, I'm gonna go with she's really good because I was debating between the top 3 tiers where to go. But she's really good because the fun thing about Cabal is that A, Cabal doesn't take everything too seriously. B, went from like a good cop guy to the black market. Like that's really interesting. 3, his ending in MK11 was really interesting and I want to see more of him because like how does he like go into a normal family life? Like just fully leaving that behind, like there has to be some sort of ramification with that. Like I would love that explored more. Like all of Cabal's writing was really, really good. Motaro, I think, kind of has to go in my Heebies or GB'd because Motaro is a character who just was never given the time of day from his inception. I think he was built off of vibes and not off of actual story. Like, I could not even tell you what Motaro's lore was, like, in any of his iterations, to be honest. Like, he's so hard to get behind. He's a horse, dead ass, that's his lore. Like, straight up, that is his lore. I don't even know what else to say. Shinnok. Shinnok is going in the Netherrealm because his iteration in MKX just made me hate him so much. Like, having him have pupils in MKX was, like, so stupid. Like, I don't know. It's a no from me. Like, his design this time around should have been a little more evil. His Bara Daddy design, though, is also bad. I got you there. Like, I've never been one to give Shinnok the time of day because, again, he's, like, super duper bad guy number 30 who has their, like, antagonistic nature kind of ruined, to be honest. Like, I'm not here for it. Blaze. Again, Netherrealm. Like, Blaze should never come back. Like, I do not like Blaze as a character, to be honest. Like, his writing was really weak in Armageddon, and that was a game full of weak writing because I'm working on a video on why a game like Armageddon will never happen again because Armageddon had some of the weakest writing in Mortal Kombat history, and because, like, obviously fighting games are really, really difficult to develop, and especially now where things rely on a lot of gimmicks in the FGC and, like, having new functions, new characters, etc., like, Armageddon would never happen again. Like, it would take a decade to come out, like, straight up. Like, it would be so, so, so bad. And, like, Blaze is something that should just be left in the past with Armageddon, in my opinion. Dagon. I like Dagon kind of-ish. I don't know. Dagon had potential but was ruined, to be honest, so I'm just gonna put him in my Heebies or GB'd. Like, I don't know. I'm not one to give, like, Dagon's lore a lot of entertainment because I forget that he exists a lot of the time. So it's not like I remember him, and not a lot of people, especially in modern MK, remember him either. Taven, on the other hand, I will say is going to go in Shurjan because I think Taven got a lot of, like, redemption in the world of MK, like, through a lot of endings with, like, Kenshi and Takeda. Like, he's got potential. It's just, I don't think they're going to act on it because they already have so many 3D era characters to bring back. So he's going to be, like, a later edition. Like, I can feel that. Ashra, she was always interesting. She just now got good. She's really good. Like, I saw her design in the new trailer, and I was, like, losing my shit. Like, she's giving Kale from League of Legends meets, like, the, stylizing of Lee May meets, like, I don't know, like, a little bit of designer clothing. Like, it was so, so good. Like, it was crazy. Why does the first NetherRealm character remind me of Draven? Su Hao? Hold up. Can we get a zoom in? Okay, I don't see it personally, but that's only because, like, I don't know. Su Hao is, like, he's one of those characters, you know? I don't know if I would compare him to Draven because to be Draven, you need to have confidence, and that is not something that Suhao exudes in like anything he does. Like, dang. The blades. Oh no, those blades are the Deadly Alliance logo. Those are literally a game logo. Oh my god. Okay. Um, what were we talking about? Oh, Taven. Yeah, Taven is just gonna be a character for another day. Oh no, we were talking about Astra. Okay. Astra is Astra is exciting. I'm so hyped for her. Um, Kira Netherrealm, straight to Netherrealm. Never. I don't think she's ever gonna come back unless she gets fully revamped. Like I want her to come back because I like the like red pigtail style. That's really cool. It's just like she was such a nothing character, and I'm like, you gotta have more than that to contend. And like, it's not even that she's serving bad; she's just serving nothing at all. All right. You guys might hear cat audio because my cat found a Nerf dart and she really wants to show me, but she can't yet. Um, the chameleons. I'm going to put them in my Heebies or GB'd, both of them, because they are palette swaps of each other. Um, you're gonna have to zoom out. So the fun thing about Tier Maker, and I found this out very recently, you actually can't like zoom out like crazy for these, which really really sucks. And like I've tried it before, and it just like you can't see anything, and it's so bad. So talking about the chameleons though, my Heebies are GB'd. I know one of them is coming back for um the combat pack as a cameo, and that's kind of what I'm getting at for like I don't know. They're an enigma and I don't know if we're ready for them to be honest. Like I'm really not sure. Like their lore was very nothing, but they had a cool character design, but Reptile kind of took their place. They're a whole weird thing. Dramen is cool, but Dramen never got the time of day. So sure, Jan. Like, don't get me wrong, Dramen's cool. Like, I like the character design. I like the mask. It's really really cool, and it's really really emblematic. Like, you see Dramen, you know who Dramen is. It's just like the lore was always nothing. Like they paid Dramen dust because they were trying to introduce too many characters, but I feel like we could possibly see a comeback for him eventually. Like I'm not objected. And if they do so, it'd be really interesting to kind of see how he develops. Shujinko, Netherrealm. Shujinko was like one of the worst mistakes for a protagonist we've ever seen. Like, I know Raiden, Heebies, my GBs, of course, as evidenced by the name. But, like, there's something about Shujinko that is so distinctly, like, you tried to be camp and you gave nothing. Like, they tried so hard to push Shujinko and just failed on every level, to be honest. Like, it was very... It was giving no. You know? Like, it was just no. Alright. Dairu. Okay. See, Dairu and Darius, I could talk about them both here, because Dairu and Darius were part of the Order Chaos Realm, like, sub-storyline, but because of that, they were just not given the time of day. So I'm gonna put them both in Shurjan because they looked cool, and Darius's comeback in the MK1 trailer actually does really intrigue me. Like, I'm here for it. I'm ready. Like, I'm intrigued by this character. It's just they have to give him something. Otherwise, there's nothing to grasp onto, really, and it quite annoys me. Mocap. Mocap is never coming back, and the only way I see him coming back is if they fully redid his character. Like, maybe if he was, like... If he did work with Johnny Cage again, I could see him being, like, a lower tier, like, crew worker who kind of, like, starts picking up things from Johnny. I don't know. Like, Mocap would be so hard to rewrite. If they did it, though, I would lose my shit. Like, I would be going crazy if they actually wrote him and they did him justice. Like, that would be insane. Like, I kind of want that to happen now. Like, that'd be amazing. Nitara. Nitara was... She looks amazing. She looks cool. She was just never given the time of day. MK Movie Nitara, though. Now that is a character given the time of day, and I think the movie was kind of testing the waters for new Natara. And if we see her in MK1, that this might change. But like I'm excited. I'm really excited for her. It's just like she has not had lore in such a long time, and it's like I don't know. There's not a lot to rank her based off of. New MK1 character. There's no new MK1 characters coming out. The closest rumor is that Shao Kahn is going to look very different this time around. That's the only thing we really have to go off of as far as that goes, because there's no new MK1 character that was confirmed. And there's two missing spots on the DLC, not the DLC, the main roster, that no one in the leakers have been able to find. No, I mean like Natara. Oh, okay. Natara is supposed to be one of the last two trailers revealed, allegedly, possibly. Originally people thought she was going to be leaked at EVO, or she's going to be leaked with Sindel. I could see that as well. It's going to be, I don't know, like, Natara is going to be on main roster for sure. It's just we don't know when. But yeah, she should be coming in the next couple weeks. She's one of my faves. I like her too. It's just she does not have lore. Okay, so Jackie. Jackie's gonna go in Vine Boom because honestly, like, I like her. She's cool. She's nice. But the thing that annoys me about Jackie is that she wasn't written as well as Cassie was because her predecessor was less cool. So it kind of makes her a little bit harder to write, you know? Like, it's just really hard to write around Jackie because she's not the best character, to be honest. Like, she's good, she's decent. It's just like she's not the best character in the context of others she's around, you know? All right, I don't think we reached the end because I thought there was a couple that I still had to go through. Hang on, let me look through these because, so fun fact, I did not include any guest characters I also did not include any, like, speculated guest characters or people that, like, characters that people want in. I didn't do any of that. Oh, okay, I think the only one I missed is Moloch. Moloch is probably going to be my Heebies or GB because, again, not given anything. Killed by Quan Chi and Goro at different points, I think. Very much, like, not super relevant. I don't think Moloch's really going to be coming back because a lot of the storyline I could see Moloch holding is all related to things that, it's, like, all related to things that, like, Reptile is kind of already hinting at. So anything that Moloch does, I don't know, it'd be kind of hard to spin. So I don't really see him coming back or anything. His design's not the most interesting, and his lore has always kind of been nothing. Okay, so looking at this, I think that is the entire MK roster, no? Yeah, I think this is actually everyone. Holy shit. How long have we been here? Like an hour? Dang. I mean, wow. I'm surprised I got through it like that speedy. Zach, what's good? How was your day? Did you see the new MK1 trailer? I've been doing pretty good, honestly. I did see the new trailer. All three characters look amazing. I think I mentioned it earlier in the stream, but I did think Serena's imp was meat in the trailer. Like, I got it so wrong. It was amazing. I really liked the new trailer, though. I was happy. For a minute, I did think that Jade was gonna get dropped in it, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, for a minute, I did actually think it would be Jade. Because there was a cosplayer Ed Boon took a picture with, and they said, like, oh, too bad nobody asked for Jade in MK1. So either he's just hard trolling, or maybe she's gonna be revealed because there's two spots on the roster that have not been claimed yet, and people are saying that it's gonna be Jade and Fujin. I said Fujin, and I didn't say the other spot in my other MK video because like, I thought it was just gonna be a slot of 24. So I don't know. It's tricky. But yeah, I really liked the new trailer. Like, I was going crazy as soon as I saw it. Initially, I actually thought it was going to drop while I was doing the stream. Like, I would have dropped everything to watch it. But I'm kind of glad it came out earlier because it gave me a lot to talk about for this tier list. So, yeah, I mean, this is every single character. I don't know, Chad, is there any you would want to like move up or down? Like, I don't know. I'm pretty comfy with where all of these are sitting right now. Let me go back through the she's really good tier. Because I feel like there's some that I could kind of move up. Scarlet S tier. No, I cannot give her S tier. No other. Okay, I cannot give her S tier. Like, I just can't. She does not have enough, like, straight up. She just doesn't have enough content to justify being S tier. Like, her look, bad as fuck. Don't get me wrong. She's killing it. But the lore game, she is not. Like, separate gods here. I was actually going to make a separate tier called Hello LGBTQ Community, and it was just going to be all of my favorite characters. I thought about it. I didn't do it because I was like, I don't know, I kind of want to take this a little more seriously. um, I have Liu Kang and Kung Lao and Jade up on S tier, but that's me personally. I would have also put Jade a little higher. It's just like I'm trying to keep it more reserved, and Jade kind of feels like a side character in a lot of other character stories, but she steals the spotlight every time, kind of like Fujin. Liu Kang a little higher. I'm debating it because like Liu Kang definitely has some wild ass story arcs. You know what? We'll move Liu Kang up to Icon Legend. She is the moment. We'll put him up there. Kung Lao, I refuse to move because Kung Lao is straight up a nepo baby. Like he was a nepo baby before like everyone else in this game was who was an MKX. But that's just me personally. But yeah, so I think this is going to be the official ranking, at least for me. I know I had some controversial picks, like for sure. Like my pick to put Raiden that low, I already know like someone would have a issue with it. Um yeah, and I think the most occupied tier is she's really good in Shurjan, and they're pretty divided between like new and old characters, or there's like a lot of new characters that were just not given the time of day, you know? Like yeah, it's this was definitely fun to do because I originally thought I was going to be putting bitches in like the bottom 3 constantly. Like I'm not because I critique Mortal Kombat pretty consistently on its writing. So I thought I was going to go a lot lower with these. Frost hmm um I again like Frost does not have enough content to work with, to be honest. Like she does girl boss in MK11 for sure. It's just like she only had one game where she did good, and she had like 20 plus years to be good and she wasn't. And like her MKX appearance was so goddamn random. I was like, what is this? Like it was not the tea for me personally, you know. Um yeah, certainly there's some characters that I feel like could go up or down if, depending on if you're just looking at the trilogy of the last 3 games or not, because the 3D era was certainly something. But yeah, I think I don't know. I don't really have any other changes to make here, to be honest. Oh, okay. I just closed out of the tier list. Go me. No, I was gonna save that. Okay, I mean I have a VOD, so it's not the worst. I mean, wow. Okay, I deleted all my progress. Oh wow. Okay, go me, honestly. Oh yeah, another thing. I'm pretty sure my hotkey that I had attached to my other screen, I don't think it actually works. So I'm just gonna click into my OBS here. All right. I think that changed it. I have to reconfigure that hotkey. as you can as you can see, I am not the greatest when it comes to tech yet. Like operating OBS is so difficult. Like I also made all my assets. I don't think I mentioned that. But I made like all of my assets and then I put them in here and I was working on doing my PNG stuff and I broke my OBS like so many times attempting to do all this shit. Like it was crazy. Yeah, we're just seeing your character. Nice, thank you. I also drew my PNG tuber myself. The one that was in the thumbnail is actually different from my other one because that one was made back in April. And the one that was made back in April, I was originally going to be streaming with a couple of friends, but some stuff happened, so I ended up just like shelving it for a while and then just remaking the icy outfit I have for my character into my PNG. And then like the backgrounds and stuff, I'm still working on changing a little bit. Like I do like the yellow, but I don't know if it quite matches with my character design. But yeah, that was certainly something. I don't know what other streams I'm really gonna do because I know I did a poll very recently on my channel. I did a poll asking if people wanted to see me play like some different fighting games on here, and I really want to do that. But I would have to get some hardware upgrades before I do that, so it's probably gonna be a few months before I actually start streaming like actual fighting games on here. Um, but yeah, when I do, I'll definitely start streaming a lot more in my PNG form. Like, definitely a fun time doing this. Like, I had a lot of fun. It's just doing it with actual games. Also, commentating while playing video games. No one talks about how goddamn hard that is. Like, the only game where I feel like I'm decent at doing it with is League of Legends because League, you're constantly talking with other people. So the dead air, it's non-existent. There's no dead air there. Like, it's definitely like it's a lot harder, you know? Um yeah, I would so be down to do fighting game streams, especially when MK1 releases. I'm going to be combo training like hell. Might as well get some viewership off it, you know? And I don't know, do you guys want to see like actual gameplay content of fighting games like that I do? Not streams, but like breakdowns of characters. Because I feel like I'm not as good with it, but I've been kind of working on it and kind of figuring my way out with stuff like that. Like obviously I love creative writing and stuff, but I play these fighting games, so maybe explaining some of my processes would be fun. I don't know, kind of just throwing out ideas there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just an idea I have. So I am working on a video for the new MK1 trailer. Someone brought it up in chat earlier. Um, I am gonna do a video talking about Ashra, Havoc, and Reptile and how like all of them kind of like intersect with each other where they have the same problem of being characters that were lost to time or lost to writing and coming back, but they're all different in different ways. That's the interesting thing. Like I'm really really excited. I'm really excited to talk about that. Ooh, my throat is getting dry and it is getting decently late, isn't it? Um and I am out of sparkling water. So I think I'm gonna call it quits for the night. It's already like kind of late for me. Um, but yeah, I just want to say thanks everybody for stopping by. Um, and I'm really really excited to do more streams like this. Maybe ranking other game characters, like maybe Street Fighter will probably be the next one I do in a stream like this. Um, but yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So bye everybody. Thanks so much for coming. Y'all can head out now. Unless you want to see my extremely sexy end screen, which you can see either right now on my Patreon or you could see it right now on screen. Bye everybody.